Hello, good evening, and welcome to Geek Squad on Joy 99.7 FM. My name is Kobe, Spiky, and Chroma. And today we are talking about the Consumer Electronics Trade Show, CES. It's something that happens in Las Vegas where all the big technology companies showcase their new stuff, interesting stuff. And it just ended. So we want to talk about some of the most interesting things that we saw there. And we're sure you'd also find them interesting. But today we have a different way we're doing things. If you're watching us live, you're used to watching us live on Facebook, it's usually just us talking. But today, because whatever we're discussing is quite visual, we want you to have a visual representation of what we're talking about. So if you are listening and you want to see what it is we're talking about, go to Joy FM's Facebook page at Joy997 FM, and everything we talk about is going to be visual. So it's like visual radio. With me in the studio, my able-bodied photographer who doesn't want to call himself a techie, Winston.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah. And I have my IoT evangelist.
Yeah.
Brockus, aka Joshua.
Into the other way.
aka Brockus. You know, because that's for me the best way to refer to people by their nicknames. Welcome, guys. Michael is on his way. He'll be joining us soon. Welcome.
Oh, thank you.
So the CES, Las Vegas. What happens in Vegas during CES does not stay in Vegas. We bring it to Geek Squad.
That's cool.
Yeah. What was your highlight for CES before we start talking about it? What was your highlight, Winston?
First off, 6 days to CES, I tweeted that, is there anybody out there who will be willing to pay for a trip for me to go for CES? I get it. It was late notice.
Don't talk out. I did say I did say
I get it, but
we all did. All the techies in Ghana who wish they were there did same.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it didn't happen. But I'm eyeing the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, 25th February. So if you're out there,
and you'd like to sponsor us to go to MWC, we never were.
we did.
But you know, Dela has ever been.
Yes,
to the MWC.
He mentioned it,
and he enjoyed himself. You know, he was the first person from Ghana to touch the Galaxy S5.
Wow, that was years back.
That was years. I didn't hear the last of it. Yeah, so he's a VIP like that. Brockus, Joshua.
That's fine.
What's your highlight from the CES?
Good evening, listeners. For the past 2 years, I saw something big coming as far as the Internet of Things is concerned. So with this show that happened last week, I think they were more of looking at taking the current technology to the next level.
Yeah.
So we could see some applications of the Internet of Things in almost all the product that was showcased. You could see the trend of IoT. You could also see the application of the artificial intelligence and the robotics. So most of the things that happened were things we used to see them in movies, which we thought was fiction. But now they were really all real. And it's happening at a very fast pace. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I think it's something Africa or Ghana we also have to be looking at because it's the future.
Great. You know, on that note, I'm wondering, would there be anything like CES in Ghana?
Yeah, I believe a couple of guys are doing great things, just that they're all hiding in their bedrooms. So if a program like Geek Squad could bring them out and expose them, that would be great, because I believe that there's a lot happening here in Ghana. The things we saw are not really strange that we can do.
Yeah.
It's science and technology, same principle and laws. We can build same solutions here, but we need to create that ecosystem where people be motivated, inspired to build stuff.
Great. That's a very motivational and inspirational speech.
Yeah.
And as a call to action for Geek Squad to get up and do something. So now, one thing that always improves every year, even though I don't think people buy every year, are TVs.
Yeah. Displays.
Like, for the past 4 years, displays have taken a certain trajectory. Like, they've gone so high, it doesn't make any logical sense. I mean, it does make scientific sense, according to Moore's law, that everything is going to be doubling. The chips are doubling, pixels are doubling,
Yes.
resolutions are doubling. Now we have 8K screens.
Yeah.
And Apple's
If you're listening and you don't know what 8K is, you're probably used to watching 1080p, which is a full HD. 720p is HD.
Yes.
1080p
Which is actually what we watch on TV,
Not all channels. Most channels broadcast 576p,
which is a
which
little
is
less than.
stretched.
Yes. Okay.
So 720p HD, 1080p full HD. Then we move on to 1440, which is QHD,
HD, the Ultra HD,
and then Ultra HD, and now we are on 8K,
yes,
which is 8 times what you are used to. Just take your TV and then like multiply by 8, and then shrink it back to the size of your TV. That's the kind of depth,
yeah,
the quality.
Pixel quality is really.
And I learned it's about 30 million pesos.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean that is insane. How can you watch 30 million pixels?
Pixels.
Your eyes cannot even discern
Yeah,
that amount of quality.
Yeah.
I think 4K should have been the cap, but yeah, tech companies have to show us that we can do it.
Well, I mean, if you take companies like Samsung, so the biggest guys for the displays this year were Samsung
And your LG.
and LG. They were the LG's rollable TV, amazing,
That was amazing.
amazing.
And
And the only problem I had with it was that you can change the aspect ratio, I mean the length of it, but it wouldn't show on the display. So I feel like it's just a simple software update to for the system to realize that, oh, you're probably at 4:3 aspect
Yeah.
ratio, so it will switch your visuals to that. But apart from that, yeah, that TV is amazing. The wall,
yeah, Samsung brought the wall.
219-inch television.
219 inch of TV viewing goodness.
You know, I actually saw that one. I was like, why? I get that word. Never mind.
Josh, 219 inches. Do you think it is realistic?
Yeah, I believe they might have their reasons.
Hmm.
Usually, it will not be ideal for individuals to buy, but looking at the cinema halls and the entertainment industry, they will need such a screen.
I wouldn't mind a 219 inch.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind replacing my wall with a television.
Yeah.
And taking the QLED technology into perspective.
And what actually beats my mind is the fact that this is modular.
Yes.
And by modular, I mean you can take it apart piece by piece.
Yes.
So if 219 inches is too big for you, you can actually drop it down. So you can scale it down to, let's say, 78 inch. If today you're feeling like 78, just take pieces out of it.
Or you could just buy one. Because they provide, there's a 98 inch, there's an 88 inch, there's a 75, I think. That's the cheapest one, I think, for $5,000. That's the cheapest, $5,000.
It's not bad. No way.
Yeah.
And LG is bringing OLED
Yes.
versions of their 8K TVs.
Yeah.
And we know OLED, organic LED, are very deep blacks, and they have the best color contrast ratio in TVs.
I think QLED begs to differ.
QLED is brighter. I have done that review myself.
Really? Because if you think about the dynamic range that the QLED provides, you see the blacks, the distinction of the blacks even in the darkness. So if you have a black dog in a dark room, you
Yes,
actually
can
get to see
that is true.
the black dog.
But then with OLED, you actually get true black. You know, QLED.
So you don't see the dog. What's the point?
No, you can actually see the dog, but then you get the whole dramatic feel of not being able to discern the dog too much from the background. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, this is a case where you want a wall that is black. So, like, that is a TV. And then your TV is backlit LED. In the case where we're talking about the QLED.
Yeah.
When you turn it on, everybody knows your TV is on. But with an OLED, when it's a black screen and you turn it on, nobody sees the difference. It's still black. You see, so that's the advantage that the OLED has over the QLED. But then again, the QLED is brighter and more dynamic range.
And I do prefer like the whole blending mode that the Samsung QLEDs have. That's so you can actually make the wall look like a wall, and nobody would be the wiser. Wow.
Well, yeah, that's very true. So, moving on from that, well, before we move on from that, between the wall and the rollable TV, which would you take?
I'll take the wall.
You take the wall.
Yeah.
Josh.
I think I was a go for the wall because it was able to adapt to
Yes.
the environment of your room.
And
So
and I can take it apart.
You wouldn't really see that there's a TV there until it comes
Yeah,
on.
true.
I mean, it's cool that your TV can roll out and it's cool. But I mean,
So, listeners, if you're listening, we're actually showing the visuals of what we're talking about on our live stream. So, right now, we're looking at LG's foldable, rollable TV.
yeah,
And I still think it's very, very innovative.
it is.
I like it.
I think.
But I still prefer the wall too.
Yeah.
219 inch. Yeah.
I mean,
And it's modular.
the
You
bigger,
can
the better.
increase it.
yes.
So, if my house grows bigger, it eats
Straight
a
up.
mushroom and gets bigger, I can just add more screens.
Just had.
So, enough of the screens and the 8K. We can't afford it.
Oh, another thing about the 8K is that LG and Samsung have AI compatibilities
Oh,
in their
yes.
devices to upscale anything you watch to 8K, which means that the AI will figure out the missing pixels
Pixels
required
and then
and will fill it in.
spaces.
So if you have a Miaweni, sorry, that is calm video, it will try. It will try its best to give you a good quality. Although I wouldn't risk that. So probably up from 1080p, it would be able to do it very, very well.
Oh yeah, one of our listeners says, "Beware of burn-in in OLED TV."
Yes,
was
another thing, yes, burn-in,
it's very
sir.
true, burn-ins. So if you're listening, you don't know what burn-in is. If you have a smartphone that is using an OLED, you find that some images are stuck in your screen, like they don't go away. It's because when that image is constantly shown on the screen over time, it burns into the screen and it's stuck.
Yeah.
There's some quote-unquote treatments for it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it
Mhm.
doesn't work. OLED suffers from that. Moving on, let's go to computers. Now, this was where everyone came to play.
Yeah. It's quite
Like-
stressful if you ask me.
They really came to play. We can't talk about everything that was shown there. First off, we'll just talk about, we'll take the best picks. Dell's XPS 13.
The best Windows computer out there. Now it's now fully the best because the previous one had the webcam below the screen.
Yeah.
And now the webcam is where it's supposed to be. So
On
it
top.
is the best
Did
laptop.
you see what
for your
Asus
money.
did with the webcam? Reversing the notch.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we're not going to talk about that because it made no sense.
Yeah.
And then, well, I like it because of the thin profile, but knowing me, you guys know me, I don't do slim.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It
We
needs
know.
muscle.
I mean, this laptop you're using right now, we are still surprised, but we know it.
So the Dell XPS 13, very portable, very nice, sleek, and everything. I mean, a businessman, your everyday laptop.
Yeah, anybody can use it.
Anybody can
Students,
use
and it has enough power for you to do your creative stuff. If you're editing videos, it can
Yeah.
do it. If you are editing photos, you are even programming. It
Or
can-
some
it-
very mild gaming.
yeah, it
Yeah.
can handle it.
Some Fortnite. So, and after that, I saw something that, Microsoft released the Surface Studio 2.
Yes,
It was mixed reviews.
it's one of the most beautiful devices
Yes.
out here.
Josh, what is it with these laptops that they just want to just give us something crazy every single time? You are an inventor, if I should put it that way. If you ever start your company, start inventing stuff, are you going to go crazy like some of these people? Because the Lenovo Yoga A940 is bonkers.
For $1,000 less.
$4,000
It's
less than the Surface
Studio
Studio
2.
2. So if
Yeah.
you're listening and you don't know what the Lenovo A940 Yoga is, it's an all-in-one that you can tilt, swivel, and
Yeah.
write on. So if you're a graphic designer, you've been drawing,
Yeah,
and you need that kind of, platform to do something, this gives you the ability to do that.
yeah. And an all-in basically means that the the system unit and the monitor are together. It's one
Everything
package.
is
It's
in.
very portable-ish. It's not like a laptop that you can just put in a bag and move out, but it's small enough. But talking about the Yoga A940 brings to mind the Samsung Space, the monitor that
Mhm.
Samsung made. Now that is a high-level ergonomics-based monitor where it can fold up close to the wall without any wires
Yeah.
sticking out. However, it's not that great a laptop. A monitor. it doesn't compare well to the others, but just because of its ergonomic features. So you can also tilt and do all the funny things, but it's not touchscreen, unfortunately. But I feel like the version 2 would be much better.
Well, they had to come and show a monitor.
Yeah.
I think the main focus for them was the TVs.
Well, I feel like they really showed out with the health and everything. We'll get there. Yeah, they really showed out.
So from the Lenovo Yoga, which obviously designers are going to want. If you're watching right now, that's it on the screen. System unit, monitor, everything built in, and even has a wireless cell phone charging dock. Like, that is just insane. Why do you put everything in that? Anyway, I like it.
Yeah.
And then Alienware, my favorite brand.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't know, Alienware is an offshoot of Dell.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a Dell machine. So, yeah.
But it's a gaming laptop, a very powerful laptop.
NVIDIA GeForce
And they released the
RTX
new versions, the M15 and then the M17. They changed the names. Before, they weren't doing M15, M17. They were doing Alienware 15, Alienware 17. But I think they brought back the M15 and the M17s. And they're slimmer now.
Yeah. Which is not saying much, to be honest.
Which is not, of course, I mean, it means some compromises have been made.
Yeah, but the cool thing is it's also slightly modular. You can take everything apart and upgrade it where...
That's the Area 51.
Oh, yeah, that's
which
the
comes
51M.
right after the M15 and the M17. That is something I'm going to be replacing my Predator with.
Yeah.
So, right
Another
after...
ship.
The M15, M17 are great gaming laptops. So if you're in the market looking for a gaming laptop, Alienware just came out with the new designs. And they're great. They're slim. They're portable.
I remember, I think they said it had 16.2 million distinct colors for your RGB, like the light.
Headphone or a
come on,
new thing
people.
now. That's a new thing now. Everybody's doing RGB.
Can you discern 10 colors?
Does anyone care about you?
Okay, fine.
Now, next up, if you're watching on the screen, that's the Alienware Area 51 desktop laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the first time, they actually did it.
It's impressive. I love the design.
Yes, it looks very sleek.
And they put in a desktop class CPU, that's a processor, into a laptop. They put in a desktop class GPU into a laptop. And it is all upgradable. Previously, you could not upgrade your laptop's CPU or GPU. It's only just maybe your RAM.
RAM, yeah, you can swap RAM chips.
Unless maybe you're using a Razer where your RAM is embedded into your motherboard. That really does suck. But this was very, interesting. I like the design. It's different. RGB colors.
As usual. It seems like that's a must.
Previously, they weren't doing RGB.
It's like a must for gaming.
It was just LED lighting.
Yeah, but it's like must for gaming things now. And
it is.
Yeah. That's why you've been draining the power grid, Spiky.
I didn't hear that. So, right after the Alienware 51, we have the Alienware came out with the Alienware 55 OLED monitor. So Alienware is not a screen making company, but they decided to make a screen for gamers. So you buy the Alienware computer, you buy the Alienware monitor.
In a gaming monitor, it is 4K,
yes. It's 55 inch and it's OLED.
And those are some of the things you want to see. That
someone's asking what a gaming laptop is. A gaming laptop is a laptop primarily used for gaming, playing video games, and not just any video game.
High-end video game.
I
would normally say it's a laptop predisposed for gaming, because with all that RAM and all that power, I could use it for my edits and stuff like that.
Exactly. So people just actually claim that it's for gaming.
Yeah.
I personally use it for a lot of editing because it's powerful enough
to handle all that.
I mean, any laptop that is powerful enough for editing is powerful enough for gaming, and vice versa.
But they are normally marketed as gaming because they have way beyond the specs required to play a video game.
So Frank Marfo is asking, AI, artificial intelligence, how is it possible for a robot fed with AI think about something that is not fed to during the intelligent state? I mean, is it possible for an AI robot to think outside the box? If it is, what brings about that possibility? That's Frank from Burma Camp.
I would take that.
Yeah, definitely.
So when AI started, they had a subset of it called machine learning. So this is where you feed a machine with information, and the machine learns on its own. So the algorithm is able to alter itself to learn and adjust to whatever data it receives. So that's how the machine or robot was able to learn from the environment they find themselves and adjust themselves to suit the environment.
Outside the box.
Sure.
But the thing is that AI, we haven't really reached the point where we can fully call it artificial intelligence, because intelligence is based on intuition. Like you see certain things and then you can, but most often these AI that we see now are geared towards specific tasks. They are not really allowed to go out of their programming, but a fully functional AI would be able to be sentient, be like a human being, learn whatever I wants to learn, infer whatever I want to infer. So
welcome, Michael.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your patience. The fun presenter has finally arrived.
Michael, you missed the fact that he wants to buy a new Alienware laptop.
No, I want to replace the Predator with the new Alienware.
Yeah.
The problem with Spiker replacing his laptop is that there's no country on earth that accommodates his old laptop. Right?
That's a good thing then. Is it not?
I'm talking about size.
So, moving on. Alienware did a laptop. All the gaming companies or gaming laptop companies, which are basically computer companies, because Alienware, Dell,
yeah.
And then there's Razer.
Yeah.
So Razer also came up with the monitor.
Yeah.
It's very impressive. It looks nice. RGB everywhere.
Yeah.
RGB, red, green, blue. When we say, I kind of find it difficult to explain RGB, because when you say red, green, blue, it sounds like just 3 colors.
Yeah.
But when in actual fact, this is showing you the whole spectrum.
Showing you 16.2 million colors. What?
Like my laptop is doing right now, cycling through 16 million colors, when in actual fact it's just red, green, blue that are beautiful.
That's what modern technology usually is. It takes the simplest things, like the 3 colors, not even primary colors, those 3 colors, red, green, blue, and then
makes it into something complicated.
Yeah, for want of a better way, it makes magic happen. No one ever used to put red, green, blue together. No one ever think that, I'll get anything sensible. But now the power of modern technology, because I heard you guys on the way coming, you can actually get literally perfect image, live image quality out of just those 3 colors, based on that initial technology that our old screens were using back in the day. Actually, come to think about it, I just remembered that actually historically has been proven that getting visuals right is easier than getting audio right, because as you well know, we started making movies before we started making audio.
Yeah. And we still don't know how to actually channel audio to someone somewhere else. For instance, if I'm playing sound through a speaker, I can't let you know the quality of the sound coming out of the speaker over the phone or over a video.
Nope.
I can
you can't do that.
It's still very difficult to actually do that.
Because at the end of it all, you have to say, this is what it sounds, this is what the mid-tone sounds, this is what the bass sounds like, this is what it feels like when it's pumping through your chest like a massage. Like, you have to use words to describe it. But then until you sit there and are literally beaten by the sound that's coming out to that speaker, that's when you then realize, ooh, this is nice, I want someone. Then you get told how much it costs and you realize, no, you don't want one anymore.
So someone's asking, do we have i9 on the market, please?
Yes, a couple of i9s on the market. I think Dell,
the
Alienwares have some
i9s. Actually, even i9 computers on sale.
Yeah, even the MacBook. Now. The MacBook has an i9 variant. Problematic one in the beginning, but it's been fixed using software. But we just saw the Asus
mothership.
Yes, mothership.
So the video that I was about to play, that was the Asus mothership.
Now that is a very interesting machine, because it takes the whole Surface Pro aesthetic and gives you a gaming laptop with that feature. So you can actually detach the keyboard. Funny thing is, a keyboard connects via Wi-Fi. I don't know why.
I don't see how that is a problem.
I don't see why it's a thing.
Wi-Fi is the future.
And Wi-Fi there'll be no latency. Latency means that there's not going to be any lag.
Are you sure?
Think about it. Bluetooth has latency.
Yes.
But Wi-Fi, the new standards, they'll be very minimal, because you're not transferring a lot of data over that.
That's network. The thing. When it's fresh out of the box, it will work fine. But after a while, it is working on it, and then it will start to get temperamental. Then the latency will come like a late dinner.
This actually it reminds me of something. I once bought a Wi-Fi enabled mouse that connects to your computer through Wi-Fi direct.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it didn't work very well.
Oh.
Because if your computer does not support Wi-Fi direct, it cannot pair with the mouse, and it doesn't work.
Yes.
But that's why in this case, it actually comes with a computer.
But the question now is, what if you break that keyboard? Do you have to buy the same one that Asus provides,
obviously,
or you can get a third party?
I'm
and it
sure
would
there will
work
be a third party that will work.
Will it work as well as the original?
Why are you guys so skeptical?
Come on,
Because
can we just keep
beaten
it simple?
down by these things?
But the cool thing about it is that it has the kick flap thing that the Surface has. So
Yeah.
if your laptop is heating up, it kicks back a little to get air running through, so you get better performance. And another thing is that most of these gaming laptops we talked about, most of the things they did was just proper thermal regulation. So that you can get, because when your laptop is hot, you should know this. When the hotter your laptop gets, the less efficient
It is.
So don't put your laptop on the
On
table
the
then.
bed.
Oh yeah.
On your lap.
On your lap, if you're a male, that's a very big problem.
Yeah.
It doesn't get better for females. I mean, I'm not one, but I can reasonably assume.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So we've seen what the Asus mothership looks like. Now, a company that has been struggling to come back to relevance, Acer.
Yeah.
They launched the Predator 21X,
Yeah.
the beast of a laptop.
Mm.
Only 300 were made. Can I continue?
Oh yeah, sure.
Anyway, so they came up with the Acer Triton 900.
I'm not impressed.
I'm not impressed either.
For $4,000, nah, it's not it.
I don't understand why you'd make a laptop that flips. A gaming laptop, once again, which is a very extremely powerful laptop, which is very heavy because of all the specifications it comes with and the kind of cooling that it requires. And then, as you can see, if you're watching the stream, have a flippable screen.
I mean, it looks futuristic and cool, but honestly, I'll take the Triton 500 over the 900.
I'd take the mothership.
But this is what CES is all about.
It's about the crazy
Yes,
stuff.
it is. But is it functional? Would it sell? Will people buy it?
I like the keypad though.
Yeah,
Keypad is pretty cool.
but it's a mouse pad still.
Yeah, it's a mouse pad that
Turns into a
it
keypad.
turns into a number keypad. That
If
is
it
cool.
does
so,
give
so
you,
it becomes useless.
if it does give you haptic feedback, then it's useful.
But
Like in the Lamborghini
it
Urus.
won't give you enough haptic feedback, because even at CES we still haven't seen haptic feedback from touch technology that lets you differentiate between different keys, which is the whole point
Exactly.
of when you have a physical key to play with. And that's been my beef with a lot of touchscreen devices that require you or try to emphasize you using it without looking directly at the screen, because
Okay.
you can't actually, because since you're not looking, you're now relying on the memory of what your fingertips tell you this is what the shape is supposed to feel like.
Yeah.
But to be honest, one part of a screen is the same as another, unless you get that
Unless you-
differentiation of, oh, this is a number one or this is a number two.
Yeah.
Or bet your listeners, if you have a physical keyboard, you will notice that on the F and on the J,
Yeah,
there
there's
are
a notch.
tiny little notches there. That's
Yeah,
simply
grooves.
just so that your fingers align and know exactly where you are if you study a little bit of typing.
Yeah.
And that's things that touch screens simply haven't got now. So putting a number trackpad on a number pad on a trackpad,
It's impractical.
It is programmable, so you don't only need to have your numbers.
But
there.
then-
you can do it. You can do
still
whatever
the
you
same
want.
thing. Why don't you use that as a mouse?
If you're a
It's-
business person
Mm-hmm.
and you're a number cruncher, work with Excel a lot.
Yeah.
You are going to really need that numpad.
Yeah.
And if it is not tactile, it is digital.
So buy a new
It's-
keyboard, which is the premise. Hold on, this is the premise for Asus's mothership.
Well, yes.
That's what they said. That they realized that most people who buy gaming laptops like to buy other keypads. I don't know where these people are getting their money from, but if the laptop came with a keyboard, what's the need
I have
for
an
another?
external keyboard because I need anti-ghosting.
Mhm.
That's the whole idea. I need anti-ghosting.
I feel I personally I thought you had another keyboard because the power your
So we have a
Alienware was
message.
taking is too
Kwame
much.
Doji said all these companies started from scratch, but their people promoted it, and now everybody is using it. So please promote RLG so that they can be better like these companies.
A quick question: no bands or like is that company still around?
I wonder.
Which was the question I was going to ask them, that people promote, and here's the thing with the point that you're making here. People promote these companies and they're still around that is because the company kept giving people exactly what they wanted. They didn't skimp and they didn't hype and then they didn't hide behind big contracts to make it look like they were giving people what they wanted. Each and all of these countries that are still around are giving people exactly what they wanted. And I'm wondering, well, why don't ours do the same? There have been companies that were huge in the past that stopped giving people what they wanted and have now bounced. BlackBerry,
Nokia,
thank you.
Siemens,
thank you.
Ericsson,
thank you.
So many more.
Yep.
And we have one that's actually tolling that line right now. But we're not going to talk.
I need to add more to this. There's a difference between.
Oh yeah, and IBM.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with having standards. I don't understand why so many Ghanaians expect you to just support a product because it's a Ghanaian product. If it's not quality, these companies started off, and most of them started off by playing it safe. Maybe they made the devices cheap, they made it affordable, they made it good but affordable, so everybody can get access to. So, but they grew from that. You get contracts, you bring laptops, cool. What next? We haven't seen anything, so you can't tell me to just support something that has apparently ghosted.
Okay, so enough of computers. Yeah. I don't think a lot of people would really buy some of the things that were announced, except maybe they like the designs. Now, this was a part of the CES that was really, really interesting to me. Wearables, fitness, and health. A lot of new stuff came up, health related. Josh, you're smiling because this is your area of expertise.
I mean, the interesting thing about wearables is that
Oh yeah, I'm sure people are going to ask, what are wearables?
Yeah, so things like smartwatches that can connect to your phone. There's even a smart treadmill. It's not a wearable, but it kind of
fitness.
Fitness. But basically, this niche, smartwear, has been iffy. It's come off more as a gimmick than a standing thing, except the Apple Watch. The Apple Watch is the only smartwear device, and I think the Samsung Galaxy Watch now are the only two that have a presence.
I think someone begs to differ.
No, I mean Michael had a certain
not
watch.
Michael.
No, but Michael had a certain
Michael.
No, I have
the
watch.
tick watch.
The tick watch 2 was a great.
How would you call your device a tick?
You tickle it. You actually tickle it to get some features.
Someone really wasn't thinking on the way through with the naming convention.
Yeah, it's called a tick, and you wear it.
Yeah.
On your wrist.
I don't think a lot of people would like to wear a tick.
Well, but this year, a lot of interesting things have shown up.
With things move.
Yeah.
They came up with so Apple came up with the first watch that could actually take an electrocardiogram.
Yes.
Now, I'm sure this everyone knows is an ECG.
Doctors have been warning about that though.
Yes, they have, because it is
a bit inaccurate.
A bit.
Your mic day on, bro.
Yeah, I know they day on, so mild understatements are allowed.
So, Withings also came up with their Move,
and then Move ECG.
Move ECG. Now, this is also supposed to help people take electrocardiograms from their wrists.
And I think blood pressure. Check your blood pressure too.
So you're wearing a smartwatch and you can take an electrocardiogram and your blood pressure from this watch.
The interesting thing about Withings is that it's not exactly a smartwatch, if you ask me, because you can't get notifications on it.
So it's just basically...
It's just for your health. It's more of a fitness health thing.
Most of them can be connected to your phone.
Yeah, but
you have an app on the phone.
Yeah, but that one actually does not allow notifications. I don't know why.
But notifications don't make a smartwatch though.
It actually does. It's supposed to be an extension of your
smart devices.
Or your smart device.
It's more of a fitness thing, if you ask me.
Well, people have turned it into a fitness thing, because it started as a fitness band and then it moved on to having a display, replacing the watch, essentially. But what really made me realize that we're moving forward, if I should put it that way, was the fact that all these devices have had one big problem: battery life.
Yes, it will always be the problem with smartware.
There was one device that didn't have that problem.
Yeah, where are they now?
I'm wondering.
They followed BlackBerry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the Pebbles.
Yeah. That. Yeah.
I think we
threw it out the window.
Technology stuff around nature stuff, because it doesn't. Your stuff is artificial. Trying to give it a natural name. That's very dangerous.
I mean, you are making it sound very morbid, because there's this big company called Apple that's having some interesting
yeah. Well,
yeah, moving on.
So as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, these smart devices are getting better. Now, they're promising longer lasting batteries.
This one is actually very interesting. 18 months.
Yeah.
It's using a normal button cell battery, so you don't need to charge it. It was another problem with smartwatches, that is the fact that it's another thing to charge.
And you have to remember to charge it, else it's useless.
It's useless. It's off.
So and you need to be sure that it can run as long as you live.
But
I'm sorry, Smikey is laughing because I'm smiling because I'm anticipating when this part of the conversation gets to the electric cars and we start repeating these things all over again. But so I'm jumping ahead of everything.
Well, that wouldn't be a problem. If you have a treadmill that generates energy, electricity.
Yes, very cool.
That
200
very
watts
cool.
per hour.
Yeah.
Its efficiency is actually quite good because it's able to convert at least 72% of the energy you generate, which is very, very good.
Action. Heart health
But,
solution.
I mean, how long will you run?
No, but you see, for the fitness buffs out there who love running, this is actually very good.
Yeah.
So you've got your treadmill in your house, you run on it, and you're generating electricity. It's actually
pushing back power to the grid,
and it is inspiring you to work out. Considering that you don't have electricity in your house, and you know that just a couple of miles,
a few laps, you'll be sure that the fish in your fridge will not rot.
Yeah,
I mean, but the thing is, I was thinking
that's some motivation enough.
When we look at the tech, they made it seem like it's a whole. It's bigger than just your home, because it's basically several people all over the place creating energy and then putting it back on the grid, and then it trickles down. But yeah, Charlie, we are in Ghana, and I'm wondering if this will be an effective thing in Ghana.
I think it should come to Ghana. If you have good, let me use this as a perfect example. Imagine I own a gym.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have 100 of these in my gym.
True.
Yeah.
People come to work out every single day. They're regenerating power back to the grid.
Yeah.
We're solving a problem.
So
Maybe in a community.
The thing is, we need first off, before I would do this, I would actually educate Ghanaians on how to manage electricity. Then we can talk about putting things back on the grid.
But you said about ECG have been doing quite a solid job on trying to educate us on the use of several of our household items in relation to the amount of power they consume.
Yeah, and that's where he comes in, Josh. Yeah, tell them about your devices that can help them save on their bill.
And before he even gets to that, Josh, don't you agree with this? Isn't this a good idea?
For instance, maybe the gym center could channel their power back to power the entire building, so they wouldn't have to necessarily feed back to the grid.
Yes,
but they can save energy. They wouldn't have to buy electricity, but they can use the same machines to generate energy.
For the same
like the way people using solar panels.
Yeah.
They can also use this for their own in-house.
I mean, the coolest thing on this for me is that it has a heart rate monitor, so it can actually optimize a workout for you for your heart rate,
so that you're not
overtasking yourself,
you're not killing yourself to generate power for your house.
or under-tasking yourself. So
unless you have 5 freezers.
Wow.
Well, you see, and that's the thing. So that's the education that Winston was talking about. Getting rid of the inefficient refrigerators and all those things from your house, so that you can use stuff like this to generate.
Michael, do you know anyone with 5 deep freezers in his house?
I don't know. Maybe some restaurant managers or something.
Oh,
I don't know
true.
Personally has
But
5
that would
freezers
not be
in his
in
own
our
house.
True.
I don't have 5 freezers in my house.
So now, moving on from this, which I personally like, that's my favorite thing from CES.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Generating power is a good thing.
I mean,
It's good.
Oh, another thing we forgot to mention, the way things ECG, the move ECG is not yet official. They are still waiting for FDA approval.
Of course.
So
you can't be promising people that you get it.
Yeah, so
But when
Now-
they do get FDA approval, if there's anyone listening from the Ministry of Energy or the Ministry of Health, please subsidize it for us.
Yeah, the Verd treadmill that generates it. But if you're watching us live on Facebook, it's actually on now. Sports Arts Verd treadmill that generates power when you run on it, so it converts human energy into electricity. Very innovative, if you
Or
ask
better
me.
yet, and I'm referencing our dear partner here, if you or anyone else potentially close, maybe my arm might be resting on his shoulder, can think of a way of making the same thing to work here, don't let that stop you. Go ahead and do it.
Yeah, there are a lot of treadmills out there we can go and hack.
Yeah. Break into it.
I mean, this is just science.
Yeah, it's probably just a dynamo
I tell you this,
and
the-
batteries.
The biggest hack of all will be getting people to use it.
Oh, they will. If they
No, actually,
You-
getting people to pay you to use it.
well, yeah, when they're coming to the gym.
What if people get to run for free, then you get energy in return?
Yeah, but you pay them to come to the gym and you get energy and money.
They get to burn calories, so they'll
But if not, if
they'll
you,
lose
if you
weight.
build it, why don't I just get one from you and hook up to my house? I want to go to your gym and give you electricity with my morning kinky.
Another interesting device is that some company came up with a portable ultrasound machine.
Now that particular device is interesting because that device, you can use it, but you are not allowed to interpret the data. You are supposed to send the data to your doctor. Which makes me, I get it. Maybe there's a queue for the ultrasound. Fine, you can use that. But if there's a queue for the ultrasound, doesn't that mean there's a queue for the doctor too?
Maybe
not necessarily.
Maybe there's another doctor, or in the case where we're talking technology, where you have remote doctors.
Oh yeah, so it's actually a telemedicine thing.
So let's say you have a telemedicine app, and then you just do your scan and then send it to your tele doctor.
The whole concept of IoT is for the device to collect the data. The data does not necessarily have to sit to the person that the device is collecting data from. So for healthcare, for instance, there could be an hospital who owns the data or the platform. So whatever data device you use on your body, on your health, it pushes to their server. So they will be able to study it and then maybe advise you on what to do. So most of the data wouldn't stay with the end users. It will be
Obviously,
sent
because
to
they wouldn't even know what to do with it.
providers.
But here's the question a lot of people then ask: why should I let people collect my data? You know, people are very sensitive about this stuff. In as much as all this data goes to help us, you know, for the greater good of all of us. I've seen videos that are suggesting otherwise.
The data conversation is very odd because I'm sure you have all experienced this, where you're having a conversation with your friends and you open your YouTube and what you were talking about is the first thing.
The first recommendation.
Yeah.
I
mean,
it seems very intrusive sometimes.
Unsettling.
Yes, it seems very, and I feel like if you could, it's like that creep who keeps stalking you all the time. Like if you could push back a little,
eventually you're going to come to live with it.
We'll come to this because that's the future.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the present, to be honest. It's a thing.
So, like when we greet the NSA and FBI guy that's sitting behind our laptop monitors watching us. I mean, it's just good behavior, I guess.
Oh, another problem with this device is it only pairs with iPhones.
Yeah, so for now. Well, you do realize that, well, that's
that's another conversation, yeah.
So, if you are, one thing that I've realized a lot of people don't get right is brushing their teeth. Or if you're an old person with no teeth. But then
you drink soup.
I'm surprised that companies have actually decided they want to make smart toothbrushes.
Oral-B to be precise.
Yes. Collecting data and actually really brushing your teeth in the way that it should be done, because people don't get the whole process right.
But you see, the thing is that you are holding the toothbrush. So at the end of the day, you finish brushing your teeth, it collates the data and it tells you that, oh, you didn't brush this spot, and then you do it again.
I think there's another side I think we have to look at. Imagine the kids under 5 years.
Yeah.
Always parents have to guide them to pace.
Yeah.
But that's a big, that's
a very big market so that those technology can fit in.
There's another one. That's not from Oral-B. That's from another company that you actually fit in your whole mouth.
That would be cool.
And then it actually does the whole
everything.
job. It brushes all your teeth for you.
Creepy, but sounds cool.
Yeah.
Creepy nothing. I live in the age of the Jetsons.
I mean, it's honestly, it sounds like a mouthful.
It is a mouthful, pun intended. Why are you grimacing? So now we're done with health. We didn't invite messages because there's so much to talk about CES, but people are still sending anyway. So if you're listening and you want to join in the conversation, just send us a WhatsApp on 0244340437, 0244340437. Some people are sending some messages. Some are asking for advice on some laptops that they're purchasing. We'll give you answers to those ones later. But today we're talking about emerging technologies, innovations that came out at the Consumer and Electronics Show. Some of us sitting here wish we were there, or all of us. Don't worry, next year I'll sponsor.
I mean, I feel the main thing is next month we should be looking to the Mobile World Congress.
I don't have money for next month.
The Lord will make a way.
Amen. Or happen. So, moving on. Amazon, Google, smart assistants. Google Assistant, Amazon Alexa. Now, they did a lot of showcasing. Google actually had a very huge theme park.
Yeah. You're interested. Sign up for
representation. Amazon wants to be in cars. Now they have Amazon Alexa Auto, Echo Auto, they call it.
Yeah.
Well, if you're listening and you don't know what these two things are, just say, okay, Google, and your phone will wake up.
I'm really wondering how many people's phones actually woke up.
Right now. You know what happened some time ago? I did that, and then a lot of people's phones woke up.
Okay. That would be funny.
Or you just say, hey Siri. And
what's a smart assistant?
Yeah, someone's phone's probably answering right now.
Yeah, and then we saved ourselves some energy. That is the benefit of modern technology.
Great. So, Michael has found a very smart way to achieve education on what smart assistants are. So, we will skip that. Philips has been known to be the ones to create smart bulbs. The Philips Hue.
One of the biggest,
And then General Electric, GE, just came up with theirs.
Yeah.
And they're cheap. Connected light bulbs,
which is the premise. If it's not cheap, we don't want it.
Yeah.
Because that Philips stuff, especially after you do the dollar to CD conversion,
it's harrowing.
Works up to something.
The Philips Hue.
Yes.
Just
the starter
kit says now they have the smart bulb. So what a smart bulb is, Josh will tell us because he's the innovator in this field.
Basically, when we say anything smart, it means a sensor has been attached to the normal devices of what we have, which enables it to do more than what it's supposed to do. So for instance, if you have to manually go and turn a switch to turn on a bulb, with a smart bulb, a bulb with an app, you'll be able to control it remotely. You're able to change colors, you're able to change the frequency of the light. So these are what comes into smart bulb.
Okay, so that means that GE has made that and made it cheaper.
And due to the future where technology is heading to, you realize all the companies, almost all of them are doing IoT. They've seen a big future in that. So those who are doing vehicles, whatever they were doing, they're now pivoting or moving more into IoT.
So another IoT device that we're looking at right now is the Netatmo Smart Video Doorbell. And the name says it all. So it's a smart video doorbell. You press it and then a camera comes on, it sees who's outside, wherever you are. It's connected to the internet. So if you are in your office and someone rings your bell, it sends that video to you. Now the awesome thing about this is that no subscription fees. Most of these other ones you have to actually subscribe to a service to be able to see the video that it captures and then the storage, and actually can detect a person. So if someone just passes in front of your door, it comes on. Would you like to have one? I can see that you're not exactly excited about it.
I mean, it's cool, but I feel like it will get very annoying if you keep getting notifications because someone is like, this is just a funny thing, but imagine you have it in your Kunti room and they are charging. And they are just passing.
So you just disable it.
And then
what's the point in having
What's the point of having it?
Okay, so I think this actually works for people who live in residential areas. And
I think there's even one that can detect the face real time and tell who exactly is there at the moment.
I'd like one that, and this also can help you let certain people into your house. Because now you're seeing who's coming. So Michael's comes to my house and then I see he rings the doorbell. Oh, Mike, I'm not home, but make yourself comfortable. Then I let it open.
Do you have a smart lock? You just unlock your house and then.
Now, before we go, Apple never, does CES, but this time they were at CES. We haven't got enough time, but we'll have to do Apple. So, Apple
is playing nice with people.
Everyone.
They didn't just do CES. They came to CES and
we are friends.
Oh yeah, we are friends. And they're like, oh, you guys we like you so much. Let's work together.
And they gave Samsung exclusive
rights to iTunes, movies and TV shows. That is very big.
That is big.
2019 is wild.
Yeah.
Apple don't play nice with anybody.
No.
They've had a very close system since inception, but
And
now
now suddenly
they're
they
opening
have
up.
volunteered this. This isn't them people approaching them and trying. They have decided we want to work with everyone else on this stuff. Like, wow.
You know, and I think that is hot on the heels of the fact that Apple is suffering.
Yeah, but
right
the
now.
question, what I thought about that, I was like, this could have actually been the plan all along, or it could be a plan to salvage the mess that is happening. We don't really
What, it was a plan to kill yourself and then try and revive yourself by
But
being
you see,
friends with
because
everybody.
if they are paying money, so Apple was one of the companies that bid for the Friends TV show, which Netflix won for $100 million. Apple bid for that. Honestly, I felt like it wouldn't make sense to have only Apple users on their iTunes movies and TV shows enjoying that content. It doesn't make that much sense because YouTube's Red, everybody can enjoy it, even iPhone users. So if you want a broader audience, you would have to invite more people. So maybe it may have already been the plan, or it's actually a plan to solve or fix this mess a little.
Yeah, I hope they do fix it. Now, before we wrap up,
Your
there
favorite?
was one thing. Not my favorite. I told you my favorite.
My favorite, I
Your
know
favorite.
yeah, that's my favorite.
That's your favorite that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
The Impossible Burger.
Amazing.
I leave it to you and Michael. Take it off.
The Impossible Burger. So basically, this is vegan company that has created a machine. Let me just make it bare terms. They created a machine that can fix you up a burger from scratch, and the meat is not real meat.
It's artificial.
It's artificial meat.
It's made.
Yeah, it's made. It's
from
grown in the
plastic.
lab.
Not
Yeah,
from
not
lab.
plastic meats. Yes. Now the interesting thing is that the CEO of the company said the difference between them and a cow is that they get better at making meat every year.
Yeah, because the cow doesn't improve.
Yes.
No.
The cow doesn't get software updates.
Yeah, exactly. So their next plan is to make steak, vegan steak. So yeah, Impossible Burger, my favorite tech.
So
piece.
I'm starting
You
with
are
Winston on that.
somewhat of a vegetable thing.
I'm
You-
not.
He
Um,
is.
that's his that's his personal problem.
Alright.
I'm of the opinion that we are at the top of the food chain, and there's no reason to stand at this God-given position and look down and say, "Nah, I won't." Yes, I will.
And on that bombshell, we'll have to bring our CES review to a close. My name is Kobe Spike and I've been doing this with Michael Ajete at MyJT on Twitter, Joshua Opoku Ajiman, I like to call him Brokers, and Winston Woche. We'll catch you again next week. Ciao.